Yeah, and specifically, you guys have something. You got a drop coming up like November 9th, right? This is the
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe. Like, what is that all about? Talk about a throwback brand, man. That's amazing.
Totally. So, when we did the partnership with Mattel, they basically asked like, "Hey, what IP would you want to get started with?" And you look at the brands that they have some really cool stuff. And um, for us, I think what was exciting, first of all, we created a whole backstory and lore with our platform. Like if you go to cryptoys.com, you'll notice a 2 minute short like that we did high quality animation that goes over the backstory of these characters. And just for your listeners, the backstory of Cryptoys, just to quickly summarize it, is that Cryptoys are 8-bit video game characters from 1981 that get sucked into a wormhole and transported 40 years into the future. And they go from 8-bit pixelated game characters to fully 3D animated. They get dumped on the blockchain. They have to learn about the nature of their new existence as NFTs. And, we have a very heavy 80s nostalgia angle to our platform. Aesthetically, I like to say it's like Stranger Things meets Pixar. And I remember just like the golden age of toys of us all growing up as kids in like the 80s and 90s, right? And we really want to harken back to that. And we recognize that even though we're building an all ages gaming platform and a toy platform, that's friendly for all ages, we're starting off with parents because you have to be 18 or up to sign up, to create an account, to create effectively a wallet, right? And we know that the majority of people that are buying Cryptoys, at least to start, are people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So we looked up the IPs that we had available to us, and we looked at Master Universe, which is an IP that I grew up with as a kid, and I was just curious. I said, when was this brand actually launched? And Cryptoys backstory takes place in 1981, and then lo and behold, I look it up on Wikipedia. When was Masters of the Universe created? It was 1981, and then launched in stores in 1982. So for us, it was like the perfect kind of crossover. And then if you look at most of the NFT folks, like again, I could, all of us are roughly the same age. We all grew up with He-Man and Skeletor and Orko and that whole cast of characters. So nostalgia plays such a huge part in the platform, and I don't think you can have a more iconic, nostalgic toy line than He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So we were just excited to sink our teeth into that one first, and then go from there.
Oh man, I
Nice.
was at a Halloween party on Saturday, and there was a warrior princess, and I was like, "Oh, you must be She-Ra," and she's like, "Who's She-Ra?" And I was like, "All right, I just totally dated myself." But yeah, I was a huge He-Man and She-Ra fan.
Yeah.
You dated
Yeah.
yourself, and you're not dating her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think my girlfriend knows who She-Ra or He-Man is either, but that's fine. More power to them. But yeah, that's a great choice. I can totally appreciate sort of why you would start with the collection like that. That sounds exciting.
And I have to ask you, after when you said more power to them, are you thinking like we have the power? Was that a pun there? That was an unintended pun. That was nice.
It might have been what the powers of Grayskull. Is that right? Is it
By the power of Grayskull.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Let's go.
Oh man, that's exciting, Will.
Before we skip off that topic, though, I'm going to give you a little permission to shill here, Will. Like, why do people need to get involved in this? I know the drop's coming up here. We might be able to put the word out. Why now? Why do they got to get in?
So there's basically 2 drops that are happening. We have our Genesis drop. We just did a test drop the other week. We did 400 units, and then we're doing a few more beta tests. So the Genesis drop is our characters, our 3 characters, Comet, Juno, and Alfie. And that's basically the first off the line. That's the first that we'll ever do. And there's, of course, the benefits of being a Genesis line. The Masters of the Universe line is the first licensed public drop on Cryptoys. So it's the first time we do a license with a partner, and that's obviously Mattel and Masters of the Universe. And they're both heroes. So like we have 3 tiers of the platform. The lowest tier are adventurers. They're the base tier. Then you have the mid tier, which are the elites, and then you have the highest tier, which are heroes. The heroes are the most capable toys on the platform, and we're only going to make so many of them. Both our Genesis line and the Masters line are all heroes. And, you know, we'll release a bunch of lower tier ones, you know, shortly after. But if you want to get a hero Cryptoy and stack them and collect them, like this is probably your best chance to do so early on in these drops, because there's a lot of stuff that's coming that's specific for heroes.
And what about the fact that He-Man and She-Ra are heroes? How does that fit into it?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, part of it, right? To be a hero tier, you've got to be heroes in the lore. So, you know, these are all, it all ties into things narratively, and we're very cautious about how we interweave different aspects of the platform, from the toy standpoint to the gaming standpoint, then also entertainment and scripting, and how we craft different episodes and an animated series. So you'll see it all come together pretty holistically.
That's awesome, man. And you got it out there right in time for toy season.
That's the hope. You know, our hope is that one day, I mean, I think the goal is you make it in Oprah magazine one day. You know, I don't know if it's gonna be this year, but maybe next year we have a chance. And then it's the hot toy of the holiday season is not a physical toy, it's a digital toy. That'll be the headline I'm looking for. You know, we got some work to get there, but that's the mission.
That's cool. Well, when you
everybody look under your chairs. You've
right.
got
You
an
get a
NFT.
Cryptoy. You get a Cryptoy. You get a Cryptoy.
Yeah. Well, look, you mentioned sort of that you've been following this space for a while, and some of the OG projects and folks, and some of whom you're now collaborating with. But are there any other projects that you've been sort of keeping tabs on in the space that you find intriguing?
Yeah, there are a lot. I mean, first off, you know, I hold Bored Apes and stuff like that from early days, and I'm really excited about what Yuga has done. I was able to participate a little bit in the round just to show some support, and you know, they've done so much for the space. So I think they're so well funded and well capitalized, and I think I'm really excited to see what those guys do with a big vision and a big war chest. So I think hats off to them, because they're innovators. Dapper, I think, is always going to be doing tremendous stuff, you know, with all these different licenses, and especially when it comes to sports, I don't think anybody's doing it as good as Dapper is. I think from an IP standpoint, which is something that I'm really focused on, is building our own IP. One of the companies that I respect the most is what Gary is doing with VFriends. Because, you know, I think he takes a similar approach to what we're doing, is like, how do you build generational IP that could resonate with all ages? So big hat tip to Gary with another huge vision, you know, for something very different in the space, and building IP from the ground up. So those are the ones that, you know, are coming top of mind at the moment.
Definitely some good ones.
Big ones, yeah. Needle movers.
Any quick things you want to share on the roadmap coming forward?
So we're doing our Genesis drops, you know, over the next few weeks here. You know, if you're interested in participating, just a little bit of inside information here is that it's not really inside information, it's on the website, but you might not notice it. So worth sharing is that if you're participating in these drops, if you max mint 5, you're going to get kind of marked to receive a golden ticket in a future airdrop. A golden ticket is effectively an NFT. They look like golden tickets that allow you early access to mint future drops starting in 2023. And you could mint as many as you want. So effectively, as long as there's inventory, if you go and you participate in the Masters drop and you buy 5, if you go back and buy 5 more, if they're still available, then you get 2 golden tickets. You buy another 5, you get 3 golden tickets. And these are NFTs, so you can buy, sell, and trade them when the marketplace is launched. But again, you will get priority access for future drops. And I will say the IP partnerships that we're going to announce soon are just ridiculous. Like I still think I'm dreaming with some of these partnerships that we're going to announce. So if you're a fan of just you know huge brands and doing collectibles and things like that, and stuff that we grew up with, you know, in the 80s and 90s, I think you'll be excited by some of these minting opportunities. So that's one. And then we have a bunch of games that we're in development in right now. So beyond just collecting, you'll be able to play with your Cryptoy in a variety of ways in the coming months. We have, you know, a few games in development internally right now, and one of which is going to be launching very shortly after mint. Additionally, I thought a lot of folks don't really know this, but it's worth highlighting. We have 2 people on the team that are dedicated 100% of their time to natural language processing and AI. So inside of the mobile app that we're building, you're going to have AI-based experiences with your Cryptoy where you'll be able to interact with it in different ways. So not just gaming applications, but also utility-based applications as well, which we're really, really excited about. And then yeah, we have a lot of new stuff coming, through the pipe, like collectors incentives and whatnot, starting in 2023. So those are the main things I would.
Not busy at all. Yeah, not busy at all.
Just a couple things.
Yeah, awesome stuff, guys. Yeah, well resourced, man. Sounds like a great team, great experience, amazing roadmap. So definitely check it out, Cryptoys, y'all.